Welcome to the BPOI Daily Bitcoin Update. Remember, if you could like and subscribe to our channel, that would be appreciated. Right, let's take a look at the market. Afternoon, guys. Just gone 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon. If you hear any banging or knocking, that's the wind outside with you 100-mile-an-hour winds in the next couple of hours, which is unheard of in the UK. So we're bracing ourselves for some damage, to say the least. Hopefully, the internet will stay online, but I'm half expecting it to go down. Anyway, Bitcoin. Okay, let's go through what's happened over the last 24 hours. Big 24 hours for Bitcoin. And yeah, just a huge amount of volatility and FUD in the market at the moment. So I just wanted to go on a weekly time frame because we drew this trend line, just again reiterating the importance of trend lines. Okay, so we drew this trend line as soon as we saw rejection and this candle form here. We drew this trend line, and essentially it seems to be acting as resistance moving forward. So let's just go down to the 4-hour time frame and take a look at the 4-hour. Okay, just one thing to mention: CME gap. Okay, filled. So I'm going to delete this CME gap, and again, just to make sure you just have an understanding of CME gaps. We spoke about the CME gap here, and we were expecting it. I was expecting it to get filled here. That would have been the obvious thing, but it didn't. We just carried on moving sideways and then moved back up again. Okay, and then essentially this is where we saw our big rejection of the price action. So two things essentially happened here at the same time. Okay, so we had a lower high. Okay, which essentially, when you get that lower high, forms that downtrend. And what happened is lower high, catalyst for a move down. Okay, so potentially, and I will draw these in shortly, we're in another downtrend on the 4-hour time frame, on the shorter time frames. Okay, so we just need to bear that in mind. We also had a ton of news come out from President Biden regarding the regulation of crypto assets and something that he's putting together next week. So that came out at around about this time as well. Even though, you know, a couple of weeks ago this was spoken about, it seemed to rear its ugly head, surprisingly, at this time when we put in this lower high. Add to that then Russia and Ukraine, and misinformation from Russia and Ukraine, I guess, in that yesterday one news story was basically saying that Russian troops were moving away from the border and pulling their troops back, and then I think 5 or 6 hours later it was the Americans who were saying actually no, that's not the case, there's more troops arriving. So we're getting misinformation, and I think people are a little bit unsettled as to what exactly is happening. And high risk assets, people don't want to be trading high risk assets at the moment. You know, with global markets, the fear in global markets, if war does break out, you don't want to be in these high risk assets, and Bitcoin obviously very high risk asset. So we know, I think based on everything that is going on and the way the price action is at the moment, personally, in my opinion, I'm expecting more downside. I'm certainly expecting 38,000 Bitcoin, so 37,817 to 39,386, I guess, are our support levels, and I'm half expecting Bitcoin to move down to these areas. If we just drill down, just go down to the 1-hour time frame, reset the chart quickly. Okay, I just want to explain to you what's happened since we've had this breakdown. I'm trying to make this video as quick as possible. Okay, so we've had this long breakdown. Okay, broken this trend line, so we identified that Bitcoin may be trading in this ascending triangle. Okay, typically a bullish pattern identified. We can see that we've had touches top and bottom, 2 touches, low we break out and then broke out again, a couple of touches, possible double top there actually. Actually that was the double top that we identified, sorry. And then rejection and then a breakdown. I was hoping, I guess the hoping was that this trend line would hold and we would start to continue to trade in this pattern. Retest, breakout, move higher. However, the bull sees the opportunity. The bear sees the opportunity to push the price lower, and this is where we're finding ourselves at the moment. So the lower trend line, the bottom trend line of the ascending triangle, is essentially acting as resistance now. So we can see that there's been a bearish retest. So we've had the breakdown, bearish retest, bearish retest, bearish retest. Okay, we've also got small double top there as well. Which has acted as these double top. You've got to keep an eye out for these double tops, even on the smaller time frames. Let me just get rid of all of those. There we go, back to the 1 hour. Okay, keep an eye on these double tops because they're forming all over the place at the moment, and they're just acting as a reversal pattern for any sort of bullish scenario that Bitcoin may be in. So let me zoom in ever so slightly, not as much. Okay, so what we've seen is, like I say, retest, failed to break back into the pattern. Okay, possible double top, move down, break of the neckline of that double top, move down. Okay, we've now also, if you think about it as well, if you grab your trendline tools, we're potentially looking at a bear flag that formed, and we've broken out, or we've broken down from that bear flag as well. Okay, so looking at this sort of scenario, very loose drawing, but we can see that price action has come down, traded in this area, breakdown, and now we're bearish retesting the lower trend line of the bear flag that formed as well. So it's all looking a little bit negative for Bitcoin, if you like, at the moment, and this is part of the reason why I just believe we're going to see a bit more downtrend. It's not going to take much, you know, a little bit of news fed into the marketplace, going viral on Twitter and YouTube. It's not going to take much to push this price lower. There's the fear, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt at the moment is high. I don't know what the fear and greed index at the moment is. Let's just have a very quick look. Fear and greed index. Yeah, I mean, I'll bring it up now on screen. 1 second. So we can see the drop. You know, we're in fear at the moment. I expect this to be extreme fear by tomorrow, depending on obviously what happens. But we moved up to neutral, which was great, and we were moving upwards. But basically, because of what's just happened, we've moved down again to 30 on the fear and greed index. And the problem is, and this is the difficult thing with so many traders, is that Bitcoin starts moving up and suddenly the hopium is there and the hype machine starts to kick in and everyone thinks Bitcoin is bullish. And I think personally we've been erring on, for weeks now, we've been erring on the side of caution in that there's something not right with this particular move up. And I think we were right to think that way, and I think we were right to trade very, very cautiously over the last few weeks, because it's resulted in what we're seeing now, I believe. And this is this move down. So just to try and identify two scenarios, the bullish scenario, we need to break back into this pattern. That's the main thing first of all. So sorry, interruption. Bullish scenario is a break back into the pattern. I would like to see Bitcoin minimum above 41,802, 42,000 area, above that area, and then a number of candle closes above that particular support line. What would be resistance turned into support? That would be my bullish scenario. However, I just think we're going to struggle to get back past this particular trend line. Bearish scenario is we break down, bearish retest of 39,386 or around about that area, and then continue to move down. Okay, so where's the bottom? If we do start moving down, I think we're looking at 38,000, but we have to be aware that if I go to the 4-hour time frame, we have to be aware of previous price action, and we have to be aware of the low down here. Let me just add in a support line at the bottom there, just so we can mark this level. Okay, we just need to be aware of this level, 32,919, so around about 33,000 area. Okay. What we don't want to see is a lower low, so we don't want to see a lower low in this area, so the price action moved down to this area, and then essentially we are forming this downtrend. Remember, right at the beginning of this video we spoke about this downward channel that potentially we're trading in. Okay, so this downward channel, you know, scary stuff, but until we break this upper trend line now, okay, we have this trend line set in stone. Okay, until we break this upper trend line, we are moving down in this area. Okay, so a lot of work for the bulls to do right now, and my expectation is, I think that we're going to see a bit of a move lower, and how far that's going to go, I don't know at the moment. We just need to keep an eye on things. So just have a very quick look at the indicators on the 4-hour. Okay, so oversold on the stock RSI, which is a fairly positive sign, but bearish on the MACD, bearish on the RSI. We've had a buy signal on the combo alert that we've got. Okay, but I I just still think, even though I think this can be pegged along the bottom, I think this can tail off like it's done here. Look, I think this can tail off, and then potentially we're seeing our 38,000. The good thing is we're quite oversold on the RSI, so we're if we do move down like we see here, you're potentially looking for a strong bounce off the RSI, which would then probably coincide with around 38,000, and then a strong move upwards. Okay, so keep an eye on the RSI as well. So look at the daily time frame more importantly. So the daily time frame looking really bearish at the moment, and we've been speaking about this since around about this area, and a cause for concern. Okay, and the good thing is potentially we're nearly at the bottom, so we're nearly at oversold on the stock RSI. But if you look at the MACD, just turned bearish. You can just see that bearish cross, which is again, it's just going to act as a catalyst for further downtrend. RSI below 50, so it's starting to look bearish as well. Thing is, with the RSI on daily, we've still got quite a distance to travel back down to this area where potentially we would get that bounce. So you could see from a daily perspective a stronger move down to the 33,000 area that we identified. Okay, so not looking great at the moment. Weekly was looking quite strong, but we did need that cross on the MACD. We spoke about that. So again, looking a little bit bearish. Even though the stock RSI is moving up, we're still bearish on the other indicators. Okay, so majority of signals, in my opinion, are pointing to more downside. Remember to expect the other unexpected. When everybody is short on Bitcoin, expect a short squeeze, potentially a move upwards. But we need to be holding these levels like we see here. We need to be ranging, and then we need to be moving up. And I just struggle to see Bitcoin being able to do that with all the FUD in the market at the moment. Moving into the weekend, more volatility on the weekend, certainly Sunday night as well. And then the SPX, the S&P 500, opens in roughly an hour's time. We've still got our targets on the SPX. Not looking great. We've identified this downtrend. We know that economic factors are affecting the S&P 500 as well. Indicators also, this is the 4-hour indicators looking bearish on the 4-hour, daily looking bearish on the daily. So you have to expect the S&P 500 to move down as well. If the S&P 500 moves down, and there's a degree of correlation between Bitcoin and the S&P, again, more downside. Okay, Nasdaq trading at the moment, trading up, but let's have a look at the indicators on the Nasdaq. Again, looking weak, looking bearish. And you have to expect this with everything that's going on. Okay, everybody is concerned that and this is this has been going on for months, if you like. Everybody is concerned about the S&P 500 and the global markets at the moment. World markets are just getting hammered, and you have to worry. Apart from gold seems to be doing all right. Everybody's moving their money into gold at the moment, safe haven. Bitcoin. No, that's not Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance, have a quick look at Bitcoin dominance. So on the weekly, just very quickly identifying this falling wedge that Bitcoin dominance is in. Currently moving down. All coins should be moving really well right now. Okay, Bitcoin dominance moving down. However, Bitcoin is not moving up. So Bitcoin, altcoins aren't performing particularly well. Let's have a look at the 4-hour time frame. Okay, let me just zoom out here. So on the 4-hour, we can see Bitcoin dominance in a slight uptrend. Okay, but we've had a breakdown already, so we're expecting potentially a move up and then a further move down, bearish retest of this particular trend line. What we would like to see from Bitcoin dominance is a continuation down, which would be good for altcoin trading, but only good for altcoin trading if Bitcoin decides to start performing better. Okay, what we don't want to see right now is Bitcoin dominance, which it's doing is moving up whilst Bitcoin is moving down. Altcoins, as we know, will get wrecked. So we need to keep an eye on Bitcoin dominance on the shorter time frames just to give us an idea of how altcoins are going to be trading moving forward. Okay, so all in all, it's looking a little bit bleak, but like I say, expect the unexpected with regards to crypto. And potentially we could see a strong move, albeit on a Friday afternoon, going into the weekend. Countries at war, global markets suffering. I just think we're going to see more downside. So let me know if you've got any questions. Post them in the thread, and yeah, we're not posting setups at the moment. I just think we were posting setups based on the price action here, but as soon as we had that rejection, I think those setups were null and void, and we'll revisit them shortly. But we just need to see how Bitcoin trades over the next, certainly over the weekend. If we continue to hold this 200 SMA and let the indicators reset over the weekend, then potentially we're going to see some upside as of Monday. But I think look for further downside in the short term, 37, 38,000, and trade accordingly, or don't trade at all. You don't need to be trading, so stay. I don't think it's worth trading this volatility right now. But if you are looking to trade, potentially look at the 3S tokens on KuCoin. If you're looking to short the price action, very, very tight stop loss, okay, because this could, if this starts to move higher and we start to get some volume in, then it could move very quickly. But at the moment, I believe it's going to move lower. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and I will catch up with you later on today, and potentially post another video in group just on any developments. All right, cheers.